In this video today, I'm going to show you how you can use Cyberlink PowerDirector19 to pan and zoom onto an object of interest in a video clip. And in this example, I have a man who is riding on the flow rider on a Royal Caribbean ship. And what I want to do is be able to pan in on this man and follow his motion. So the first thing we're going to do is click and drag the video down to the timeline. Then I am going to select Tools and Crop, Zoom, Pan. All right, and at this initial point in the video, I'm going to set where I'm going to want to start. And I'm going to change my aspect ratio to freeform so that I can size it any way that I want. And just kind of keep it right around the area that I want. So this is going to be our starting point. And up here in the upper right hand corner, you can see how that's going to work. So I'm just going to press the play button here until I get to a point where it would be logical to set our first keyframe after the initial keyframe. And so here our man has gone down to the bottom. So I'm going to add a keyframe, which is this right here. You hover over that, add keyframe at current location. And so that didn't do what I wanted. Let's try that again. We'll kind of zip and do this over to here and add the keyframe. All right. Now you see it added our second keyframe right here. So I'm going to click and drag this window, and I'm going to resize it so that it's going to zoom in on him. And you'll notice that it's made an arrow from our starting point to our second point. So now we're going to want to continue to follow the action. So I'm going to just press play until I get to another spot where I'm going to want to set a keyframe. And probably there is a good spot. So again, I'm going to add another keyframe. And here you see it added a keyframe right here. And so I'm going to hover over this little blue dot. Then I'm going to click it and drag it to our new location and maybe even zoom in a little more. And you can see now the arrow has gone from our first point to our second point and our third point. So now I'm going to go ahead and click play. And probably about right here is a good place to set another keyframe. So I'm going to set another keyframe. You can see our keyframe is right here. I'm going to hover over that blue dot in the center, click it, and drag it over our new area. Then go ahead and hit play. And in fact, it looks like I'm going to go ahead and click this little arrow here to get us where we want to go. And maybe at the very end, we'll add another keyframe here so that we can come over to where the man ends up, maybe even a little bit higher, and click OK. So now you see in our viewing window up here, we're starting at our starting keyframe. Now we can hit the play button and see if we like how it's going to be tracking the motion. Now it looks like it's a little slow at following it there. So we're going to click on the little eye that is now on our clip down here, and we're going to select Crop, Zoom, Pan to bring up the edits that we've got. And so at this point, we can click and drag this little arrow to see how we're going to want to fix it. And so here you can see it's being a little slow in following the man. So we're going to add another keyframe at this point. And we'll click and drag that to follow him. Now let's go with the little arrow here. Sometimes if you click off, And so you can see that's followed a little better. But we maybe want to add another keyframe here. And then click and drag it to better represent where he's at. And click off the keyframe so that you don't accidentally move it. Now at this point, maybe what we want to do, let's add another keyframe. And we will just make the view a little bigger. And click off the keyframe so that we move that little arrow so we don't accidentally move our keyframe. And see how it's moving up. And maybe at this final keyframe, we can click on it and maybe make this a little bigger too, so that we get a better view. And then we can click OK. And now let's test it and see how we like it. You can see now it's doing a better job at following the man. And that's how you can zoom and pan in a video clip following a person or an object of interest. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.